Welcome, my Zentangle friends. My name is Emmy, and you're on the Zen with Emmy channel. I'm real glad you're here today. It's a very, very hot day where I am, and it's fun to be cool and to draw with you. But I know that you might want to get this done quickly and get out there in the world. So that's the way this pattern is designed to be done. This wonderful little thing that I've designed for us today. So I've got my usual supplies. Almost forgot my kisses. Can't forget kisses. Never, never. And I've grabbed a piece of paper, and here's where we're going in case you want to take a screenshot. I just thought this was just so sweet. I hope you do too. Make whatever adjustments you want if it doesn't work for you. Okay, I'm going to grab a pen and demonstrate how to do this. So I'm going to make a long stick, bow it out at the top, come back together like that. Just like kind of similar to the other, only a little larger. That lets me do my sample for you better. Okay, so I'm making myself a tiny tick mark here and here. Hope you can see that. What I'm going to do is go out and back in on each side. So watch a minute. I'm going to come out, lift my pen up a little bit, come out and back in. Do the same thing on the other side. Come out and back in. This is very forgiving because nobody's going to notice if one side or the other is a little off or wonky. Now find the middle, inside middle actually, of the next one that you just laid on there, and do the same thing. Out and back in. Out, back in. Now where the 7 flower comes in is Shalini has gone a little bit lower on the next level. Like even, I'd call it, I don't know what that is, 1/2 inch maybe? Guessing here. What I'm going to do is the same thing, only it's going to be bigger. Watch. I'm going to go out, back in, out, back in, and then I repeat what I did here. So right off the top of each of those, I'm going to mirror what I did before. Up, out, and back in, up, out, back in, and you can repeat this as many times as you want. Now on my sample, I put a little orb in the top, and you don't have to do that. I just thought that was a sweet addition, and I felt like I needed to do it. So I did, because we can, right? Okay, so I'm going to make over here with Bella by Beatrice, I'm going to make a kind of wavy line, not overly wavy, just a little bit. And then I'm going to put a bump on it. My second bump is going to come back here right about in the middle, below the line, and back like that. So the way I'm going to make this come together for us is I'm going to make a line that replicates here, but the next line is going to come underneath and out. To finish the circle of what this orb is now, I'm going to come back around here like this, like it's underneath. It is such a cool thing, isn't it? When you see it done, you go, oh, of course. But sorry about writing sideways like that. It helps me to see things. So anyway, that's the patterns for today. And remember I showed you this is where we're going together. So grab your pencil, because we need to put pencil lines, just like Zentangle style, of course. Dots in the corner. Connect them very wonky style. You see, I'm not trying to make perfect lines here. That would be weird. Pencil lines are always made to be changed. Pen, not quite so much. Okay, now that I've got my wonky lines in here, and I'm going to try it. I may be able to use that for my border too. It'd always be my intention. Keep your pencil handy because I'd like to put a few longish sticks around here. So I'm going to come along here in the middle, make a stick up that direction. Make another one coming out this way to add to my frame. Maybe I'll make another one here and another one off. Maybe even another one. I don't know. We'll see about that. Okay, that's as much as we get here. Don't let me forget the bumblebees. Remember how cute they are? Look at them. They're on the job training. So hopefully you'll like them, as well as the border. That's another on the job training. So this is a very thin stem that I pulled out of the side of the road, haha. Then I'm gonna make a stick like that for my fun little leaf. I'm gonna put another leaf on my stem like this. And only the hint of a middle on this one. And then I'm gonna come out here with that fun pattern Bella. Maybe even I'll make it go all the way to the edge. And then I'm gonna put my half an orb on one, and then again. And then it's a good thing that I left this open for my second part of my stem, because remember, I need this here now. And this can trail right off in the distance. So now I will finish off my sweet circle here. And then I'm going to come along and I'm going to put in here somewhere that fun 7-flower pattern. And that needs a double stem right away. Okay, now that I've got that laid on, I'm going to start with those little dots to aim for. Out and back in tight, out, back in tight, again. Tight as you want. You may want to practice that a couple times. I could see how you would. I needed to. The first time I did this 7-flower pattern. Okay, now we're going to do a couple of the up ones again. And that flower gets so large that I'm going to leave it right here. You should leave it wherever you think you should. Okay, so I'm going to put the treatment in the middle of this one that kind of replicates where they originally started with the top. Oh, gee whiz, think about it. There's a lot of fun patterns that you could do in addition to what we're doing here today. And then this one, that one kind of went down, so this one I'm going to go up with. Maybe we'll try to do the other one a little bit different. You have to kind of do what you think you have room for here. Isn't it sweet? And then don't forget your little orb at the top, if you want to do that. Like I said, that's an embellishment. That is not part of her original pattern. I just happen to quite like it. Okay, coming up here again, I'm going to make a single stick. And I'm going to do another stick off of here. I want to do this sweet Bella pattern here again. So I'm going to come all the way. Maybe I won't do that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can do double. I'm going to do double all the way. Then come on the other side and tie it off. Now where this is coming around to finish it off. And I really think I kind of like to have a little closed bit here for these. You know where these are? These little points. Not all of them, because those close together quite nicely. Now maybe I have room for a little one of these hearts. and I can make my stem go down that way. See how cool? Okay, so then I come make my point at the top and lift, lift, again. Wider on this next one, and then up on the next one. It would have been fun to have this one kind of hanging down, but they're reaching for the sky, and I like reaching for the sky too, so I get it. And put that little treatment in here. When we get shading, this is going to change up terrifically. I just love them. I hope you do too. Okay, keep it going. Let's do another one over here. Bump and a bump. Come back to the start so that you can make a double line. And then here, tie that line off. Come on, around and around. Is that ever sweet? I like it. I hope you do too. Okay, I have room for another. Maybe I'll try to make that go down. Know what I mean? If I do that, I'm going to actually have to turn my paper. Otherwise, it just won't happen. Nice. I like how that turned out. Okay, have my dot at the top and the top. Come around. Do it again. This one is going to be lower. That's got a real wonky look to it, but I'm not saying that I don't like it. It's just wonky looking. Oh my goodness, this is so fun. I really hope you're enjoying this process with me. And as I've mentioned before, this is something you can teach somebody else. You can use any paper, any pen you have, or pencil, and you can teach them how to do this. Now, this one went down. This one's going to go up. Just pleasing for the eye to do different things. And I have room for a large pearl in here. So I feel like I want to get a couple more leaves in here. Maybe I'll put a leaf in here. Maybe I'll think that this kind of flower has a leaf on it. And I know I can hear you saying, don't forget your bees. So the bees on the job training. Make a small kind of elongated head. The body is going to come maybe down to here. It's going to come pretty tight at the top, out and back in. This is like that. There's a particular Christmas ornament that looks like, I think. Okay, the bee wings are going to come out on either side. And then I have a second tier on this one. Then I tried to make them look a bit like they have veins in them, like I've seen before. And then I like to identify these as bees by putting these stripes in the middle and darkening on each side like that with a little hollow of light in the middle. And if you have room, little bits of antennas are a nice touch. You can darken, the head if you want or whatever. I'm going to do another one. I've turned my paper all the way upside down, and I'm going to pretend that this has something that a bee would want. So I'm going to make an elongated head, like a dot to aim for. That one went beyond. It's okay. I can start wherever I want, of course. Make those gossamer wings. And a second one. And then put that little treatment, the thin little veins inside. And then a couple of stripes, whatever you have room for. Darken. What a fun summer pattern. I think it's so sweet. I hope you do too. Now let's take a minute and get the border on. And the border, as you remember, I hope, is I just decided on doing in and out the window, just in and out, up and down. I'll have to lift my pen where I come across some part of the pattern that I put here. Paper's getting away from me. Nice. So the way I did the pattern was just to have 3 beads going down. That appealed to me. Now, if it doesn't to you, try something different. I would love to see something different. And I so appreciate when you show me what you're up to. And I want to take a minute and say thank you, Heidi, for your support. It was so kind of you to contribute. I still am not making money from YouTube, so I appreciate anything that you care to throw my way. Just means so much to me. You can't believe how I giggle when somebody is so nice as you. So the next part of this cute pattern is this. All I did was a stick with a bit of a knob on the top, and that kind of follows through with the beads, I think. So where this part of the pattern has a lift, I put this line and a bead underneath. Anything that's a pattern is just fine, of course. Alrighty, now I don't have much that I need to erase, but I will just do a tiny bit here. Lines that I chose not to use. Using my gum eraser, hopefully you can find one at your hobby store. They're inexpensive, very inexpensive. And my, they last forever and ever. All right, let's get some shading on this sweet pattern here. I'm using my pencil. It's not as a writing tool. I'm using it very much on the side, like this, so that I can get lots and lots of graphite out of this. I'm going to come alongside the stem, on one side of the stem. I'm going to do a little bit of shading in this orb thing, kind of this pattern, Bella. Now this one is tricky here. I'm going to go over this a couple of times with a giant smile in one, like one part of this, not the whole thing. I also want to put shading inside, a hard line inside of that line. And I want to have my pencil pushing in to the line, and that's also going to matter when I try to smudge my shading out. Little bit here on each of these. Can always add more if I think it needs it. The leaf needs it. Tell you that already. Okay, push the graphite in. It's going to give this an idea that it's going underneath. And then that big smile. As I mentioned, we're probably going to put more graphite on this again after we do a little bit of smudging on this. There. And the bee, I really want his body to be rounded. To get that, I'm going to have to put shading on the two outside edges, on the outside here and the outside here, and leave white in the middle. Now, I'd like to shade underneath each of these hills, just like that. When I get my blender stump, my tortillon, it's called, I'm going to go ahead and smudge this out so that it spreads. If you haven't used this much, it's a tool that's going to make you go, oh, that's so cool. See, that goes so fast. All right, now keep that handy. We may need it again. First thing I'm going to do is the first thing I saw, and I'm using a blender stump that already has a lot of shading on. I really want to leave that bit of white in the middle here, and I want this darker, one side of the leaf darker than the other. So I end up with three colors. I end up with white for my paper, or whatever color paper you're using. And then I'm going to end up with the gray for the shading and black, of course, for my ink. And there's a lot of ways to shade, so believe me that what I'm showing you here is a way. There are many other ways, okay? I don't want to forget that pearl on top, but I do want to take my time and get all of these leaves and everything going on here. If I think of it, I want to do a little more with those leaves. Little bit of smudge. See how that gives that the effect of being lifted when you smudge it like that? It just changes the whole look of these fun things. Okay, get my bees done. Try to leave that white in the middle. If you need to reinforce your white, remember you can get the Mono Zero handy and just push that back out again so that it stays white. You want that middle area white. And I like this because it hardly has any divots on it at all. Okay, so what did I miss? What did I miss? Oh yes, the pearls. Okay, so I'm going to come around in a circular motion with my pearls. I'm going to do each one the same. I'm leaving a little space of white in there for the light. Little space of white. Now I want to go over this one more time because I want this to be really, really dark. I'm almost using it in this case like a pencil. So you see how I've got really white, gray, and dark now? And yet they're all smudged together? That's what I'm trying to do, so that I end up with this real pretty pearl. I hardly am touching that paper at all here. Hope you see that. I got a little bit of gray here that I don't want on the paper. Let's do this again. Circular motion. A little more pencil. Was really quite dark, and that's what I wanted because I want this to look really dark in the corner, like a pearl, like it's sitting there. But I need the white too. Okay, let's do this one more time. Circular motion. This pearl is the biggest. Ah, Emmy, you probably should have started with this one. It would have been easier for everybody. You can probably see it the easiest too. Okay, now that I've got this, I want to come along here with my pencil and very, very dark graphite. My Zentangle pencil is a 4B. That's a little bit softer lead than our Ticonderogas that everybody's buying for school kids these days right now, or whatever. I want that little tiny bit of light left. And that is the prettiest pearl I've seen in a while. Isn't it beautiful? I love my pearls. I hope you do too. Okay, let's do something with this on that outside edge. Push, push. Oh, I hope you love this fun little thing we did today. Grab your 005 or your tiniest pen so that you can put your initials on here somewhere. Your work is important, and you are too. Thank you so much for being here for this next session of Summer Shorts. And we have one more to go after this, but I am going to start a really cool thing on Sunday. So kind of be looking for an announcement in the next day or two. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.